I'm thinking, you don't have a clue.
Both a pair of losers. All the Paul family.
According to the Nigeria police, according to the information we are getting, that driver will be charged for reckless driving.
Anthony Joshua breaks his silence on Joe Rogan podcast after shocking car crash. Anthony revealed the terrifying truth that his car's brakes failed, causing a crash that tragically took the lives of two of his closest friends. Confused and emotional, he admitted he has no clue who's responsible, highlighting the deep mental and emotional toll this accident has left on him.
Through life. Yeah. Because at different stages of your life, you're allowed to evolve.
True.
Anthony Joshua opens up about the pain after losing his closest friends. AJ's grief is overwhelming, and returning from the hospital hasn't made it easier. The trauma has taken a serious toll on his mental health. He feels exhausted, angry, and emotionally drained. This shows the heavy burden he carries, struggling not just physically, but mentally as he processes the tragedy.
That stage in my life, just F everyone.
Yeah.
I'm just tired. I've been through a lot. Yeah.
The shocking details behind Anthony Joshua's car crash. AJ revealed that his car's brakes failed, causing a catastrophic accident that tragically claimed two of his closest friends. The scale of the crash has left him traumatized, and there's growing suspicion of foul play, with questions about whether someone deliberately tampered with the vehicle. His mental and emotional strain is immense.
Fury still part of the plan. I did see a few of the pictures that were circulating from it.
Gerald Miller reacts to Anthony Joshua's tragic car crash. Gerald opens up about the emotional weight of seeing AJ's accident unfold online. Even with their strained relationship, he empathizes deeply, imagining it could have been his family. The mental toll of witnessing such tragedy and AJ's suffering is raw, showing just how devastating this event has been for everyone close to him.
Right side passenger, right at the back passenger. So the two on them sides there died. The driver and Anthony survived. But it was said that a tire blew out, but now I'm hearing
Tyson Fury calls out Jake Paul after AJ's crash. Fury doesn't hold back, urging people to focus on humanity rather than blame or hate. The tragedy has shaken the boxing world, and Fury reminds everyone that AJ's friends who died were loved, and the accident's emotional toll extends far beyond the ring. Compassion is what's needed now.
They are not your enemies. They are your brothers and sisters under God. We all came from Adam and Eve. In the beginning, everybody on earth. Remember that. Spread love, not hate.
Joe Rogan questions AJ's condition after the crash. Rogan highlights the uncertainty surrounding AJ's health following the terrifying accident. Fans are left worried about potential long-term effects on his body and mind. Surviving such a violent crash while losing close friends adds immense physical and emotional strain that is still unfolding.
Who knows what happened to him when he survived, right? Like, did he hit his head? Did he hit his neck? Like, what is he okay? Like, is he 100%? Or is he always gonna be a little fucked from that?
Johnny Nelson reflects on the human tragedy of AJ's accident. Nelson reminds fans that no fight or rivalry compares to the value of life. Losing two close friends in such a sudden, tragic accident is devastating, and the emotional and mental impact on AJ, witnesses, and families cannot be overstated. Again, life can change in a heartbeat.
It's just sad. It just makes you realize how valuable life is and how things can change in a heartbeat. So when we talk about fights and we talk about beefs and these things are just nothing when it comes to real life and losing your life. So it was a sad thing to hear, a sad thing to see. God knows how it'll affect those that saw it mentally, emotionally. But you've got to think about these two men were somebody's child, someone's brother. And that's what you've got to think about, those people that have lost their lives.
Pain Game reacts to AJ's severe car accident. Surviving a crash of this magnitude is shocking in itself, but knowing the toll it has taken on AJ's body is staggering. This is a man accustomed to physical pain in the ring, yet even he is vulnerable outside it. The trauma from such an accident, internal injuries, shock, and the mental strain cannot be overstated. Rescuers needed to handle him with extreme care to prevent further harm. Fans in the boxing world are grappling with how someone so strong could face such fragility, highlighting the human side behind the fighter's tough exterior.
Such a severe car accident there. Like, all right, he's lucky enough to still be alive, but fuck me, his body must be going through a lot right there. This is not a man who winces in pain easily, right? He gets punched for a living. And obviously, like, you're supposed to take people out of car accidents like that with great care because you don't want to...
Shope as the adult breaks down the legal side of AJ's crash. The driver responsible for this tragic accident is now facing serious felony charges, highlighting the severity of reckless driving in Nigeria. With 2 lives lost and AJ narrowly surviving, the legal consequences are significant, potentially up to 7 years in prison. This adds another layer of gravity to the crash, showing that justice is being pursued alongside recovery. For AJ, knowing the driver could be held accountable might provide some closure, yet it doesn't erase the mental and emotional trauma he and the families of his lost friends are enduring.
This is a real image of both of them together. Now, Nigerian police sources has indicated that Adeniyi will be facing some serious felony charges for reckless driving. And I know a lot of you guys are curious, such as I, on, what would be the punishment or the penalty for reckless driving in Nigeria. So I looked it up. And if you are a reckless driver in Nigeria and you cause a fatality on a federal road, that is up to 7.
Joe Rogan reacts to AJ's seatbelt miracle. Rogan highlights a shocking and almost unbelievable detail. AJ wasn't wearing a seatbelt, which may have paradoxically saved his life. The physics of the crash meant that certain protective measures could have worsened the outcome. Surviving such a violent accident seems nothing short of miraculous.
I mean,
that's bonkers. Thank God he didn't have a seatbelt on. I never say that. Thank God he didn't have a fucking seatbelt on, because if he did,
there's no way.
He would be dead.
There's
Probably,
no
or fucking severely.
Eddie Hearn confirms AJ's initial condition after the crash. Eddie Hearn's update offers a small relief amidst a sea of tragedy. While AJ survived a catastrophic car crash and miraculously avoided major injuries, the emotional and psychological toll remains immense. Fans, fellow fighters, and the boxing community are relieved, but also deeply aware that surviving physically doesn't erase the trauma of losing 2 close friends. Hearn emphasizes how fortunate AJ is to walk away alive, yet acknowledges the uncertainty of recovery. Mental health, shock, and processing grief will take time, even as the world celebrates his survival.
It doesn't look like he has any major injuries. He's true, and that would be fantastic, and obviously he'd be a very lucky boy if that was the case. But we hope that is the case.
Gareth A. Davis breaks down AJ's recent career choices. Gareth highlights the complexity of Anthony Joshua's decisions outside the ring, particularly his fight against Jake Paul. While some criticized the bout, fearing it would be dangerous for Paul, AJ handled the situation with professionalism and class. The incident demonstrates the risks that come with high-profile fights and the scrutiny athletes face. Beyond the ring, these choices show AJ's resilience and commitment to his career, even amidst controversy. Now, after the devastating car crash, this context emphasizes how fragile life can be for fighters. AJ has faced physical challenges in the ring, but surviving such an accident while grieving lost friends adds an entirely different layer of pressure, highlighting both his courage and vulnerability.
In fact, some very interesting and germane points you make there in this moment, Raheem. That I think what I've noticed, that obviously there were a kind of panoply of opinions about him fighting Jake Paul to take it back a week and a half. I mean, I was critical of that fight being signed, first of all, because I worried about the dangers for Jake Paul. He got his jaw broken at the end of the day, and kind of used the scars as a flag in his new moon, delusionally optimistic in his words, as he is about these things. So Anthony Joshua went to America a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, played the role which he needed to play, was very classy throughout.
Liam Goh reflects on the tragic human cost of AJ's crash. The news that Anthony Joshua survived while two of his closest friends died is heartbreaking. Liam emphasizes the emotional toll this tragedy has on AJ, the families, and the wider community. Surviving such a severe accident brings immense physical strain, but the psychological burden, grieving lost friends, processing trauma, and coping with public attention is equally significant. Fans and peers are reminded that behind the fame and boxing accolades, AJ is human, facing grief and vulnerability like anyone else. Support, prayers, and understanding are essential as he navigates recovery. This moment also underscores the randomness of life, showing how quickly circumstances can change and how fragile even the strongest among us can be.
Anthony Joshua injured in car accident. 2 people who I believe were with Anthony Joshua were friends of his have tragically passed away. Before I carry on reading the article, the 2 people who have tragically passed, my condolences is all I can say to their friends and families. We'll definitely offer up some prayers for them.
Showbiz the Adult breaks down the accident scene. The details emerging about AJ's crash are both shocking and confusing. While the stationary truck may have contributed to the collision, investigators and fans alike are still piecing together exactly what happened. What's clear is the scale of the accident and the tragic loss of AJ's 2 friends. Surviving such a violent impact leaves not only physical pain, but also a lasting mental and emotional burden. Showbiz emphasizes the need for accuracy in reporting, highlighting that speculation about other victims is dangerous without confirmation. AJ's fans, the boxing community, and family are all grappling with grief, relief, and shock simultaneously. Prayers and support are pouring in, yet questions about responsibility and the circumstances remain, adding to the trauma AJ must process in the days ahead.
Anthony Joshua's SUV struck the stationary truck. So I just want to give you guys the breaking news. Unfortunately, Anthony Joshua was involved in a car accident in Nigeria. Prayers to Anthony H.A. Joshua and his family.
Oleksandr Usyk reveals the hidden toll on Anthony Joshua. While AJ may appear okay on the surface, Usyk points out the serious internal injuries and mental strain he is carrying after the crash. Surviving such a traumatic accident is one thing, but the unseen effects, psychological stress, internal trauma, and emotional exhaustion are just as dangerous. Fans often see AJ as a strong, almost indestructible athlete, but Usyk's insight reminds everyone that even the toughest fighters are human. The mental burden of losing 2 close friends and facing uncertainty about the cause of the accident could affect AJ's focus, mood, and overall well-being for months to come. It's a harsh reminder of how fragile life can be.
Usyk said, "This is an unbelievable loss. Sinna and Latif are 2 incredible people who were not only part of AJ's team, but also friends. My sincere condolences to their families, loved ones, and everyone who knew them. Anthony Joshua, wishing you a speedy recovery. Stay strong."
Frank Warren reacts to the gravity of AJ's car crash. As a promoter who has worked closely with fighters and understands the dangers they face, Frank Warren expresses deep concern over Anthony Joshua's accident. While AJ survived with minor injuries, the emotional and psychological impact is profound, particularly with the tragic loss of 2 of his closest friends. Warren's reaction highlights the seriousness of the situation and the toll such events take beyond the physical injuries. For the boxing world, it's a sobering moment that reminds fans and insiders alike that even the strongest fighters are vulnerable outside the ring. The accident is a combination of tragedy, shock, and the haunting questions about responsibility that will linger for AJ and those around him.